Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting, scintillating edition of the WrassleCast. This is episode 114, I believe. And I'm Samuel Kalunga, and with me, as always, is the Don of the WrassleCast, Mr. Don De Laurenti.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 114.
All right, and now we don't have any Miss Didi tonight. Don't shut your device off yet, because we do have a suitable replacement. We do have Mr. Quintessential R.
How y'all doing? Not as pretty as Dee Dee, but my eyes will suffice.
Right. So, how's it going tonight, fellas? How was your all's holiday weekends?
That was pretty good.
Christmas was awesome.
What was that?
2016 is still being a butthole and taking too many people here at the end, but Christmas was fine.
Hey, I'm just saying, George Zimmerman, there's still a few days left. I'm just saying 2016.
I mean, if we're
He's
being
right there.
if we're being real, let's go ahead in 2016. Just on your way out, you can take him too.
Yeah, Dylan Roof, he's right there. I'm just saying. But anyway, that aside, we have no news for you here because there was no. It's a holiday, not much stuff happens. There was no crazy accidents. No one got into a drunken went into a drunken rage or anything. So that's good to hear. So we're just gonna go right into it. We have from Monday Night Raw, live from Chicago, Illinois. Okay, guys, y'all ready?
Let's go.
I've been trying to condense my reviews only because I'm taking way too long just to write out stuff for a show that doesn't matter. So here's the abridged version.
So is it going to be
Stephanie
shorter
McMahon.
than CM Punk's UFC reign?
Yeah. Well, hey, that is short. But so Stephanie McMahon comes out to cut her boring 20-minute promo. The crowd chants CM Punk, and Stephanie immediately shuts him down by saying if they can keep it up for 2 minutes and 15 seconds, they go longer for Punk. They go longer than Punk. That was just savage. That was just wrong.
Just like her dad, just
It was
straight savage.
Right.
Well, she had that one cocked, ready, and loaded for.
She's had that one in the tank for some time. She was just waiting. Okay, so Seth Rollins comes out. He makes jokes about Steph having Triple H's balls in her purse. Seth says he wants Braun Strowman. Roman Reigns comes out. He opens his mouth and the people boo. He argues with Seth. The crowd chants CM Punk again. Seth suggests Roman and he go backstage and teach Strowman a lesson. That's what he said. Just like they did back in the day to guys like Evolution and the Wyatts. And as far as I remember, they never beaten the Wyatts. So I don't know what they're talking about. Bad comedy by Stephanie. She teases the Dean Ambrose return, but then takes it back. As a fan, I really hate when they do this because it just takes the air out of the crowd. I mean, I know it's a heel thing to do, but why tease something when you won't deliver? I just think that's.
You think Dean was holding his phone, going, "Please call me, please call me, please call me, please."
I don't even think Dean has a phone. He probably carrier pigeon or something. I don't know. He's like a nomad. If he does have a phone, he has a flip phone.
I see him with the old Miami Vice phones.
The big breaks, yeah.
He's got a brick. Oh my god.
The brick phone.
He's got the Zach Morris phone. Yeah. So that goes on for a while. Do we even need to talk about the tag title rematch? Is that something we need to discuss? Because I don't.
Xavier gets caught with the bro kick. We're going for the honor roll. Cesaro saying it's.
Well, I have it written down here. I'm just saying, do we need to talk about it? I mean, just something that we need to discuss.
We can tell the people who won.
Okay, Big E comes down swinging 2 ladles around. That was something of note. He scoops Booty-O's out of a bag and pours it over fans' heads. It's kind of gross. The WWE Universe still can't count. Cesaro puts on the swing twice, and they miscount again. Crowd pops each time New Day goes for a pin. Cesaro does most of the work, but Sheamus steals the victory.
Yeah, that's all that needed to be talked about with that one, because it's just Cesaro needs to be in the main event, and they are just saddling him with this. So maybe next year, maybe that's one of Vince's resolutions for next year.
No, you need to grab those brass rings, you know. but yeah, no, like, please don't have another rematch. Like, just stop. We don't need to see 800 matches of these two. I'm not here for it at all. Okay, so Owens and Jericho find Strowman backstage. They tell him that Roman and Seth were talking smack. Like, getting hit by Strowman was like getting hit by a pillow. Owens mentions that Seth said Strowman should take up CrossFit. Jericho says, they're all rumors. Strowman responds with, rumors are crap. So I guess Braun is not a fan of the Time Make Social Club. I'm just saying. Wait, they're the ones that sang the rumor song, right? I always get them confused with the other one. The ones that sing the Word Up song.
No, that's Cameo. Is Word.
Okay, Cameo. Okay, all right. All right, so I got it right this time. Okay. All right, so Bailey presents Goldust with the Dusty Rhodes Bear. Goldust looks like he's about to cry. He says it's the greatest gift he's ever been given. R-Truth is like, what about that time I give you a red face mask or whatever the hell? That was like so weird. The Aryan brothers come in, call them nerds, and then rip the head off the bear. And meanwhile, Cody Rhodes is in his house throwing things.
Wow, you know what though? Cody was mad, justifiably, but they've done worse stuff. But Cody wins at life.
CM Punk rolling around in Paul Bearer's ashes, that's one thing. The Reed Flair storyline, and the whole Jerry Lawler's mother, they brought that up twice. Like, I mean, they've done worse things than rip the head off a bear, but I guess.
I mean, Cody wins at life. He has Brandy at home, so you know. Yeah.
Hey, he has those 2 titles that he goes home to every night. The GFW title, I guess, and that other belt he has. Okay, so
I still don't say that second one is the real title.
I don't think so. I think that's one that he just made up. Well, that first one's not a real title either, because that's not a real promotion. I've never tried on television and
see the checks clear.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I don't. They paid him in Monopoly money, probably. I don't know.
They paid him in those
better
bars.
Than TNA,
what are you talking about?
Yeah, they paid him in the Jarrett bars, the gold Jarrett bars. Yeah.
That was a real, pardon the pun. That was a real dusty moment, though. Really had to justify my thug after watching Bailey give Goldust that Bailey Bear, and I'm pretty sure that'll be like the #1 seller on WWE Shop in the next month.
It's only available on the WWE Crate.
Oh, really? Well, Loot Crate,
the Bailey Bear, yeah.
Loot Crate,
y'all
about to see a lot of like subscriptions.
I would sign up for that, but they only have 3X, and the way my measurements are set up, I'm just saying. I mean, at least the WWE Shop goes to 5X. You know, why can't they just stuff those in there? I mean, but yeah, that's the one reason I haven't signed up for the crate yet. What about you, Quan? Have you signed up? Have you heard of this? Looked into this?
Yeah, I was looking for it when it first came out. I did the Wrestle Crate one before, and I said, you know what? As soon as WWE comes out with one, I'll probably have to start getting it. And I found that I have a checking and a savings, and I gotta wait to, you know how that goes. But when those match up, then I'll get the WWE Loot Crate.
Right. Okay, so Scarlett Bordeaux. Were y'all familiar with this girl beforehand?
Negative.
Nope.
She was one of the. Huh? Was it done?
Negative.
No, I wasn't.
Oh, she was one of the Hoopla hotties. She was one of Truth Martini's Hoopla hotties.
Oh, okay.
From back in the day. Yeah.
So she was also a stand-in for Tony Laurie this week then, for me. Sorry.
Right. She was also in OVW for like a decade. Scarlett is Nia's opponent. She reveals that Sasha was her inspiration. She's even wearing a Sasha t-shirt. Nia destroys her, gives her a vicious leg drop, and tells her to get a better role model. Wow.
That was really funny. That was an awesome little 10-second promo by Nia.
And I've heard some people talk about Nia's voice, and they say she got the China syndrome, to where her voice doesn't match up. But I'm good with it. I'm good with it though. That's how it usually works out. So it's not a surprise. But NXT, they really didn't have her talk, so now she's actually talking for an extended amount of time. So she'll work on it. It took China a long time to get it down, so it'll get better.
So Bayley and Charlotte are in the ring. Charlotte says that her lawyer struck or expunged last week's match from the record books. She says that Bayley has never beaten her, which she has twice on television, clean. Charlotte says the whole time she was pretending to be Bayley's friend in NXT, but she was laughing internally. She calls for a rematch and calls for an unbiased referee, someone who's going to call it right down the middle like Bill Alfonso.
Bill Alfonso, daddy. Bill Alfonso, daddy. Right down the middle. Manager of champions. It's Bill Alfonso, daddy.
But instead of Alfie, we get the enforcer in training, Dana Brooke. I guess she's back.
Yeah, she was doing her best Miss Jackie impression with that referee shirt.
That shirt, yeah. I wasn't.
She was trying, but that's the greatest shirt ever. It's the greatest. Miss Jackie has the greatest referee shirt ever.
She's the greatest referee ever. So anyway, the match happens. Bayley takes out Dana with a belly to Bayley. Charlotte gets the victory when Dana comes back and fast counts while Charlotte schoolboys Bayley and uses her feet for leverage.
Hold on.
Wait, is that distraction finish?
Yeah, it is.
What's that?
It is. You think they're gonna? Yeah. Take a drink.
Take a drink.
There it is. Do you think they're gonna ever break out to be fair to Flair with Charlotte? If she gets screwed, if Bayley wins, that'll be the next thing to come back. You gotta be fair to Flair.
Hey, you never know.
Be a nice.
I thought about that the other day. I think I tweeted that the other day. After they changed that match to a Falls Count Anywhere, just because that's the one WWE shirt that they should have made that they didn't.
Oh yeah, that would be an awesome seller, like a throwback to bring it out now. Got to be fair to Flair. Oh yeah.
So Bronny and Stephanie are backstage. He wants Sammy, but Stephanie can't find Sammy. She promises a match against Sammy next week in a last man standing match. Steph says she wants him to take his frustration out on Seth. So when he sees Seth, it's actually Sammy. Okay, Neville and TJP in a match. Neither man adheres to the code of honor. Neville is very aggressive with TJP. Alas, he wins with a handful of tights. Neville is interviewed after the match. He's in his feelings about how the fans make fun of his accent. He calls Americans ignorant and arrogant, and they'll never appreciate him. Okay, so Kaz wheels Enzo down to the ring. Enzo repeats his certified joke from last week. He repeats the joke that he made on Twitter, talking about Rusev and Jinder are chicken and they had no backbone. Now, if they really wanted to get that over, they should not have blasted the tweet all over the screen before they came out. He makes a joke about Red Solo Cups, which is weird because the inventor of the Red Solo Cup died this week. Which is kind of creepy.
2016 strikes again, folks.
Right.
Took out everybody.
Right. Went to your mama's house where everybody lives. Okay, so Rusev and Cass duke it out in the ring. Cass throws Enzo onto Jinder, who found his way into the wheelchair. There's a match full of geeks happening in the ring. Braun comes out with the Christmas tree, no less, and kills everyone. Why did he come out with a Christmas tree? What the hell?
Throwback from last week when he beat
Sin Cara. He randomly picked. Did he use it as a weapon? No, he just put it down and just killed everyone.
Yeah, it's good. Thank you, Strowman. Thank you, Strowman.
Yeah, I know.
Just to let you know, I'm totally okay with him stopping a geek match.
Who was the match? Wasn't it like the, it don't even
Everybody,
matter.
Shining Stars versus Darren Young and Bo Dallas.
Everybody hanging out in catering. That's who it was.
Everyone who just, he was mad because they ate up all of the rolls and they didn't leave any for him. So, that was justifiable.
So, he brought out the Christmas tree because they ate those Christmas tree cakes. The ones you get during Christmas. They ate all those, and so he was just mad.
Must have had some of those last week. Why you joking?
Those things are addictive.
Some, but they're like, those things are expensive in the box. It's like a box of like 6 for like $2.15, $2.20. No thanks.
It's the holidays, everything's jacked up from the holidays.
Right. So Braun Strowman, you know what I've yet to try? I've yet to try one of those holiday cakes from McDonald's. I haven't tried one of those. I heard they're good.
What holiday cakes? They have holiday cakes?
They have a holiday cake that has like some kind of vanilla filling. I mean, holiday pies. Holiday pies, sorry.
Oh. I used to get them Little Debbie things, but those Christmas tree cakes, and it's something else that I had, or eggnog shake. One of those two things that I'll have.
At Arby's, they have an Andy's mint chocolate shake. It's really good because it has bits of Andy's in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really delicious, yeah.
Well, I stay across the street from Steak and Shake, so that eggnog shake is worth
look
it.
At you. I've not been to Steak and Shake in years.
Oh.
So anyway, Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins have a match. During the match, Sammy comes out and attacks Strowman. He repeatedly rams Strowman into the ring post on the outside. Sammy runs out of the ringside area. Strowman goes after him. Strowman shoulder blocks the hell out of a cheering fan. Lawsuit. Did y'all notice that? He just shoulder tackled the guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He just laid the dude out. So Jericho jumps into the ring after everything gets calmed down. He gives Seth 2 code breakers and leaves him laying. What's her name interviews Kevin Owens. He says she is annoying and he calls her a random stranger. I thought that was great.
Well, Kevin Owens has been great.
Yeah. As the two walk away, Jericho calls her Chuck.
Yeah, because it was Charlie Caruso.
Yeah, right.
Please
I wonder if
say
she's related
Caruso.
to David. I wonder if she's related to David Caruso.
That's probably not her shoot name, sir.
Hey, I can dream, okay? So anyway, the Aryan brothers versus Goldust and R-Truth. Anderson, the guy who tore off the head of the bear, Schoolboy's Goldust. That's the second schoolboy of the night, by the way.
With some tights.
Yeah, with some tights. Yeah. Noam Dar is talking to Dana Brooke while Rich Homie Swan is walking around. So I finally realized why Noam Dar why Alicia is in that program with Noam Dar in them. It's because with his accent, her name sounds like Alicia Fox.
Oh yeah, she got something for those men with the accents. She was all about some Wade Barrett.
Oh yeah, right. And Jack Swagger, yeah, she was all over him too. You know that you can't understand those Oklahoma boys.
That's not an accent. That's a lisp. That's Jack Swagger. That's Jack Swagger. That's Jack Swagger.
So yeah, so I hear that Vince McMahon gets a kick out of it when he says Alicia Fox because he feels like he's getting something over on the censors. So that's why that exists. But he's here talking to Dana Brooke for some reason. So the outlandish.
I think we know the reason. He saw her in that referee's shirt just like we did.
I know, right? He's like, hey, baby.
He did. I'm just saying. He saw it. It's all understandable.
How about I make sure? He's like, how about I make sure your shoulders are down? Right.
To the mattress.
Right. So the outlandish Rich Homie Swan wrestles Daivari. Both men adhere to the code of honor. Daivari does so reluctantly. Swan wins with a spinning back kick. While Swan is being interviewed by what's her name, he's attacked by Neville. He beats him down in the ring and hits Swan with the red arrow.
Has anyone gotten a reason why they just started calling him the outlandish Rick Swan? Or
yeah, I'm still not sure. I asked Dee Dee a few weeks ago, and she was like, I don't know. She said it was his hair, but then he has wings on his tights, so who knows?
Because he's a
It just
swan.
don't make sense. See, we all know that they listen to the show. So if they just started calling Rich Homie Swan, all of us would get it. The crowd might get it, and all will be happy.
No, what sucks is they got him doing this weak ass kick for a finisher instead of the standing 450. That's what sucks.
Yeah. Well, Vince got that thing against the 450 since the Kidman incident. So, he gets weird about those things. He sort of goes, if you're going to do those flips, I don't know if someone's going to get hurt or not. So,
Okay, so Jack Gallagher interrupts Davar's interview where he calls Gallagher a scoundrel. Gallagher claims he has impugned his character and challenges him to a duel. Davari asks if he's Alexander Hamilton. He slaps Davari with a glove and says, "No, he's Aaron Burr."
Hit my man with an isotoner.
Yeah, if you know your history, Aaron Burr shot Alexander Hamilton.
Or at least if you saw the play, but whatever.
Well, yeah, but who did that? Come on, I can't afford to sniff that opera house.
I mean, are we saying legal or barbershop?
Hey,
is it live or barbershop?
I actually know someone who actually got in. It was like for $1,000 a ticket.
I know people that said they got tickets now for like September. So
yeah, isn't it like backed up for like 2 years or something, or a year or something like that?
Something like that.
Hey, man.
Is anyone from the original cast?
People who are trying to be a part of the play, so good luck to that person every week. Now, that's what I'm talking about, right? Yes. Or to the edgy. Good luck to you, brother.
Oh, okay, cool. Is anyone in the original cast still there?
I think like 4 people left, something like that.
Okay. And it's still sold out all the time.
Yeah, because the understudies know everything by heart. Shout out to Nick Jew and R to the Edgy that got me hooked onto the soundtrack.
Yeah, big shout out to What's the T. Y'all check that out every Tuesday. Those are people.
No doubt.
All right. So Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Jericho comes down to distract Roman. Roman kicks out.
For the U.S. title, because this is the first time in like 3 months Roman's put the belt on the line.
So he distracts him again later, but and Owens hits a code breaker. But Roman still kicks out. Rollins comes out, beats up Jericho, pedigrees him, and then a super kick by Owens. Owens gives Rollins a cross chop, turns around and is speared by Roman, and Roman gets the 1-2-3 victory. And that's your Raw, which was terrible. But whatever. They still do it. What did y'all think?
It was, I mean, to me, it's fine. It's hard getting through Raw as it is anyway. That 3 hours is always just long and draining. But I mean, it was an okay show. They weren't gonna do very much. I just, like Don was saying earlier, I wish they would just keep people apart. So we all know that Roman wants to get back at Kevin Owens and Jericho for what they did, but can they just like do it, in between somebody, have Kevin Owens go against, we don't want him against Sami Zayn anytime soon because we've seen enough of that, but just.
Or, Roman Reigns against one of the scammers or something, I don't know.
Yeah,
got
something.
A whole performance center full of jobbers. Put jobbers back on TV. Here's the formula. You start your whatever beef you want to have. That's the first interaction. Whether they jump somebody, you get physical, or you just have a challenge. Then you have the next person come out either in that show or the next week, answer them. Then you have a couple of matches where each of the guys wrestle somebody completely away from the challengers. So they build up, get some wins going, talk some shit, about what they're gonna do when they finally get a chance to wrestle so and so, or how so and so's looking good in his matches, and I'm looking good in my match, and we're headed for this collision course. And then maybe on the go home show, you have like a tag team match where they finally like get some interaction for just a little bit, and then you go into your pay-per-view. Hey, guess what? I'm ready to see these two guys wrestle now. I haven't seen it 18 times this month already. Like it's something like Kevin Owens is like one for 9 on Raw against like Roman Reigns in like the last month or something, or 2 months or something. It's ridiculous.
Well, for like a stretch of like 9 months or something, like I think like Rollins was like 27, like 3-27 on TV. But yeah, like I mean that's all good if you're putting on a wrestling show. But as they tell you repeatedly, this is not wrestling. Vince McMahon is making movies.
He's making horrible movies and just saying we're just gonna care about the opening week of day shows is just whatever.
Yeah, it's just like I give up. Like whatever. I don't care. Just I mean, like, bring back the Nitro Girl so I can have something to look at.
I mean, I think that's the biggest problem with Raw is they have such a larger roster, but they don't do anything with them.
Yeah, and like think about this. So like, what fans are they gaining? Like, okay, like I mean, I've told this to Don before, but like I'm gonna tell you, Quan. Just imagine you never really watched wrestling before, right? Now,
right.
What I enticed you, I said, hey, come watch this show every week. It's 3 hours long. And it kind of sucks. But come watch it. You know, it'll make you a fan. Like, I mean, you'd be like, no, go to hell.
No. I can count on my hand the times I can count on one hand how many times I've sat and watched a 3-hour movie. And to do it every week is brutal. So I usually go to sleep somewhere along the line just to go, okay, I can sleep through the second hour and just get through the third one.
Yeah, okay, like it's like the Lord of the Rings movies. 3 great movies. Now, if you put those on every week, that wouldn't be great anymore. I'm just saying that's pretty much like the length of an episode of Raw.
Right, and that's the reason why I'm saying if you had more squash matches, more promos, it would add some variety to the show. It would move the show along.
But you know what though?
And it would character build the guys as well.
That is a good idea, but that would also get old like really quick.
Oh well, there's ways that you do it. You look at the old Saturday morning shows or whatever, like once a month you get like a legitimate main event, but it might be a count out or it might be interference finish where you kind of like move on to like another program or you set up the program after the program that they're doing. So I mean there's ways to spice it up. But you got to have some people that understand like wrestling to do it and not just people who just come out here and like every week is like a new week. I think that hurts Raw too.
Did y'all hear like Mr. McMahon's original idea for Brock Lesnar for this coming WrestleMania? He thought it would be like such a fucking great idea to have him against Shane.
Why?
It took him a lot of convincing to realize maybe that's not such a great idea after all.
So everybody saw that one coming though.
He's an old man. He needs to go.
Based off the idea that they were playing up, that when Paul had that interaction with Stephanie, it was like, well, Brock took care of Shane for you. You owe us now. So everybody knew that was kind of like maybe a possibility.
Right. I feel like the man took convincing that like maybe you can find something better for him. You need to be convinced. What the fuck?
Well, they said the old rumor is that Vince has a note card that he writes the card on after like as soon as WrestleMania ends, and it takes a lot of convincing for him to back away from it, injuries and everything. And I think he just thought, ooh, Shane went against Undertaker. Let's do it against Brock. But that's a whole special case that's coming back after, almost
I will boycott if that match happens.
10 years or over 10 years. So it was a
Dude, you're like roboting
special thing, but Brock, that just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but anyway, let's move on to SmackDown. Don,
no, that's Vince's thing.
Yep, we're ready. Show starts with the return of John Cena himself. He says he's not going anywhere. He says he's here to stay. He says he's not going to be part-time. He's going to be full-time. And he says that right now he's going to issue a challenge to the winner of the title match later tonight for the Royal Rumble.
Oh, God.
So then we get the first of 3 title matches. We get the Wyatts versus the Usos versus American Alpha versus Slater and Rhino. And this was an elimination match. Slater, unfortunately, botches coming off the top. Then he gets caught by a super kick and gets pinned by Uso, and him and Rhino are eliminated. Gable then reverses a pin by one of the Usos into a jackknife roll-up, and they get the 1, 2, 3, and they eliminate the Usos, so then it leaves the Wyatts versus the Usos. American Alpha catches Orton with the Grand Amplitude, and they get the pin to become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions.
Hooray.
Didn't see that coming.
Didn't. I thought they were going to make them wait and just fight the Wyatts for like 2 or 3 months.
Was it like Harper's fault or something? Harper did something.
He knocked Randy Orton, looked like he was going for the superplex, and Harper was like, I guess, trying to assist him in those efforts, and they kind of had a miscommunication.
Damn. All right, what next?
So then we get a little Ziggler promo with Renee. Then we get a James Ellsworth promo with Dasha.
The same promo that we heard from him 1,000 times. Like,
oh yeah, the Dolph Ziggler start out slow and then I'm going for the championship impassioned promo.
Like, no one cares, dude. Shut the fuck up.
he really wants to be Shawn Michaels, or as I call him, the Heartbreak Zig. He wants that so badly. It's just not there. Just can't be him.
Yeah, this is not happening.
Then we have a promo between James Ellsworth and Dasha, and then
did you hear what she asked him? She asked him she was like, "We know you will overcome all these odds." No, you don't. We know absolutely nothing about this dude. Nothing. We don't know if he's married. We don't know what he did prior.
No, we just know he just got chosen by Carmella.
Is she talking about his face or what? What are the odds he overcame? Is she making fun of the dude?
Yes.
God, this show sucks. No, Dasha is horrible. She's a terrible human being.
I mean, do you know how hard it is to go through life without a chin? I mean, if we're being real, it takes a special
That's a question I'd like to know. I wish you would ask that. Goddamn Dasha.
We have Alexa Bliss.
I'm sorry, Don.
Hashtag BlissCakes Champ versus Becky Lynch. SmackDown Women's Title match. Alexa Bliss, with a little help from La Luchadora, is able to hit her DDT and get the win to retain the women's title.
You just see how she did the whole oh, my arms hurts.
Oh yeah, the disarmer, and then the Becky Lynch does the Pentagon Junior arm break in this particular match.
Oh, that looked brutal too. As soon as I saw it, I said, "Oh, she's been watching Lucha Underground."
It would be funny if that was her gimmick from now on. That she has a gimmick arm. That's how she gets every match, by trickery because of her arm.
And there's this one particular spot where Alexa Bliss's arm looked really nasty, and bent in a way that it shouldn't be bent. And she ended up pulling out the victory, though, with, like I said, some help from La Luchadora. So she's back on the scene.
Okay, but we figured out who it was. It's Deonna Purrazzo. Now that could change. It could. I mean, from what I've heard, it's going to end up being Mickie James, but the stand-in was Deonna Purrazzo.
Mm-hmm. Didi will be proud to hear that. She loves Deonna Purrazzo. That's one of her favorites for obvious reasons.
Oh, is she a fan?
Deonna, duh.
Oh, okay. Kayfabe.
Duh.
See, Don came and broke key fob.
Yeah. So, after the glorious title defense by Alexa Bliss, we had another Renee interview backstage with The Miz.
No, hold on, dude. You missed when like Dasha asked her like who that was, and she asked her like the most robotic way ever. She was like, "Alexa, who was that woman?" And then she was like, obviously it's Sasha Banks." And she's like, "No, Lizzie, doesn't look like her." "Oh, well then it's Nia Jax." That was great.
I'm glad to see y'all are coming around on Alexa Bliss. Glad to see it.
I thought it was funny. I didn't think she's a great wrestler. I just thought, I mean, she's entertaining. And she looks good.
I've already
2 out of 3 for you, Sam. That's way above average.
Yeah. Hey, at least she's not the female Roderick Strong. I'm just saying.
Oh.
There's nothing wrong with him either. That's just your personal problem.
Hey, look here. No, I mean she's pretty and she's entertaining.
And she can wrestle.
But, I mean, she has a ways to go. She has a ways to go. Well, she's better than some of these other women, though. But go ahead.
Quan, what were you trying to say?
And me and Don been on the Bliss Cakes champ for a minute. You need to just come on, Sam. You just need to join us.
Every time y'all say Bliss Cakes, it sounds like something that like Tasty Cake would make. That sounds like something like one of their products.
Yeah,
not in the dirty
probably
way,
does.
perverts.
It probably does taste like a Tasty Cake.
Hey! This is a G-rated show, sir.
Wait, who chose
it? Because Didi's not on it this week. Is that why?
Wait.
Right.
Wait, the Creepcast has to sit still for the Bliss Cakes champ? What?
Well, apparently G stands for a gutter mind or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But y'all go ahead. No, it sounds like whenever y'all say Bliss Cakes, it sounds like a product you can buy in the store.
If only
they could probably sell a lot of T-shirts if they put it on a T-shirt.
With like the Tasty Cakes logo, but Bliss Cakes instead.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It'll just be like a box on a T-shirt. Yeah, that'd be a good shirt.
Look, they did bootios. We can do Bliss Cakes can work.
Exactly.
So they make sure you're not blissful.
So we have
to make sure that you are blissful.
Yes, have a bliss day.
There you go. Continue.
Renee, backstage interview with The Miz. He's got all the security posted outside his door. When Renee opens the door, Maurice pokes her head out,
by the way.
and Maurice is about that action boss. She wants to get some of Renee, but Miz calms her down, says let him handle it. Steps outside, shoos the security away. But of course, there's one person who didn't leave when he told the security detail to Vamoose, and it was none other than Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose then beats The Miz down, and The Miz then yells for the security to come back in to save him. They finally come back in, try to make an attempt to save him, but are thwarted. Right. Dean Ambrose walks off with the last laugh. Sam, any comments?
Nah. I mean, I was going to complain that, like, security just let her through. It's like they're the worst security ever. But then I do remember Miz did say that, like, no, not Miz. Maurice did say that Miz only wants to be interviewed by her. So, hey, at least Miz has a brain. And, he doesn't let people like Dasha interview him.
Well, Renee had to hit Dean up on the next tail and 911. I'm going to be dealing with Miz. We all know Dean doesn't have a flip phone. He has the brick phone and the Nextel pager. If we're being real.
He got that Boost Mobile app. Where you at?
He's still trying to figure out tout, you know. So.
Oh God, tout.
Oh my goodness. I tell you, man, when you got as much money as Vince, you can waste it on some pretty dumb ideas.
You know, he's part owner of Flow Slam.
Well, that's smart by him.
Is he?
Yeah. So hopefully that venture will work out for him.
That's a Triple H. That's a Triple H idea, though. He had no idea about any of this other stuff. Triple H is working all over.
He's like, where does this like small chunk? Where does this pocket change go every month?
Right. So we have the SmackDown Matters main event of the evening. Triple threat match for the WWE title. We have Baron Corbin versus Dolph Ziggler versus.
Oh, yeah, you didn't mention the Nikki Bella interview where like
professed
her love. She's like, I love you, John Cena.
Yeah, basically Nikki and Natty recap of their issues, followed by a promo from Nikki, and then also a promo by Baron Corbin right before the match, and then we have the match. Corbin hits the end of days on Ziggler. Then Styles catches Corbin with the phenomenal forearm, and AJ pins Ziggler to retain the title. Cena comes out after the match. They shake hands to confirm the title match at the Royal Rumble.
So I tell him like how like we almost had Dolph as a champion because someone was late.
Yeah, we had a near fall here where we had Dolph pinning AJ, and Corbin was late coming to make the save, and AJ Styles, being the great veteran that he was and is, kicked out at the absolute last second. Or Sam is absolutely right. The 3 count probably would have went down, and we would have had Dolph Ziggler as your champ, and we would have had a real interesting week of news after Baron Corbin got his ass chewed out by Vince and probably sent back to NXT.
They would have made him vacate it like before the show went off the air.
I mean, are we really being positive that Vince didn't chew Baron Corbin's ass out anyway?
Because Baron Corbin actually stood out in the match. He actually looked fantastic in this match. A lot of people on the internet was praising how impressed they were with him and how much respect they gained from him off of this match.
I mean, I think I was even tweeting. I said if they ever turn AJ, Corbin might be a hell of a heel versus AJ. AJ will carry him, will help him through the first parts of it. Like Samoa Joe did that match he had in NXT versus him, but he'll learn.
Like, it's so funny, man. It's like Alexa Bliss, Baron Corbin, they just like got to NXT, they got to the main roster. They weren't really ready to be there, but they kind of have found a groove and taken off versus like Nia Jax and like Apollo Crews in the same situation, probably better than both of Corbin and Alexa Bliss at the time that they came to the main roster, but they still like stuck in neutral.
Well, that's because Apollo Crews still hasn't figured out what character he is. Nia Jax has at least figured out she's just going to be a bully. They still got to work on Cruz's character because he's just literally the smiling black guy at this point.
He used to maybe turn heel then and be the angry black guy or something.
But they got to find somebody, because I don't want to say he's the best. He's not the best talker because they just really haven't done anything. I remember they had on that Breaking Ground show, I think Scott Hall was asking him, "What are you?" He's just like, he couldn't figure it out. So they just need to either keep him off TV for a little bit so he can figure out what his character is, and then he can go from there. But even if he turns heel, he still has to find out what he's supposed to be. Let's look at Neville.
Right.
Yeah, it's taking them a while, but I mean, he fits it perfect though for the position. They had an open position, and he fit it perfect. So hopefully they can understand that with Cruz and slot him in a position that fits perfect for him.
I'm watching this rematch, Sting versus Hogan, and Michael Buffer goes out there for his ring introduction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, dude has to get all his shit in because like they're brawling right in front of them, and he's still doing like his introduction is like, this person is the excellence of whatever, and this and this and this, and he's still talking while they're brawling, like knocking him over and stuff. Like he had to get all his intro in.
Hey man, he had to make sure he got paid, got his all his words in for the amount of money he got paid at
I
night.
mean, he's like, y'all
I know
paying me
that's
an outrageous
trademark.
amount. Y'all pay me an outrageous amount of money. Let me at least get it all in.
Speaking
Exactly.
of stuff we're watching, so I've been watching that collection of match of the year, and I'm on the Baylor Rollins match.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's just at the beginning, just before Baylor separated his shoulder. So,
Oh wow. Oh, the one where he got hurt, right?
yep, for the Universal title. So it's worth watching in a row. If you watch it in a row, you start to realize, because I said AJ Styles might be the wrestler of the year, but then Sami Zayn was in all of these match of the year candidates. So
Nice. All right. What's next, Don? You got some NXT to talk
Two.
about?
Then we got some 205 live before some
Oh yeah,
NXT.
205 not live. Yeah.
So we had our man Cedric Alexander versus the perfect athlete Tony Nese. Alicia loses her mind and gets sent to the back, which distracts Cedric. So Final Central, if you got another drink on deck. Nese hits Cedric
of
with a
course,
palm strike and gets the win. In the back, Alicia knowing in the back we see Alicia with Noam Dar. He approaches with mistletoe and gets slapped twice by Alicia. He's trying to get his freak on.
The dude was like, I can just imagine him back there, like, oh, my Nubian queen.
Then we get a Neville sit-down interview about why he's in the cruiserweight division, and then he talks about his history with the Rich Homie Swan that goes back to Japan, where Rich Swan was supposedly his young boy. So we get Mustafa
yeah, that
Ali.
was questionable.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was like, yeah, you could have used any other statement. Oh boy.
Oh, so the young boy.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's young lion. Isn't that also what they call him?
Yeah, they also call him the Young Lions. So we have Mustafa Ali versus John Yernick. Mustafa hits an inverted 450 splash to get the win, and then he has a post-match interview where he says that everybody isn't as racist and divisive as he thought they were, and that if they can cheer for him, he can be about the people. So we had a good feel-good moment
Okay.
there.
If I can change, you can change. We
Right.
can change.
Then we had Davari had a video package. Then we had Davari versus Jack Gallagher in a gentleman's duel. They
So did they
choose their
walk 40
weapons.
Did they walk 40 paces?
They walk 5.
Oh,
They
okay.
chose their weapons. Davari picks the lead pipe. Jack Gallagher picks the umbrella. They pace off the 5 paces, but Davari tries to sneak Jack Gallagher, but Gallagher ducks the lead pipe, basically beats up Davari with this umbrella. Davari then mounts a small comeback until Jack hits his headbutt and then hits the running drop kick in the corner, and Davari retreats to the back. Did you see this, Quintessential?
Yeah, I actually enjoyed it. I was Jack Gallagher out of all of the cruiserweights has been the most entertaining. They actually gave him a character. So right at the point, what was that on Raw a couple of weeks ago when he announced that he was going to interfere in the match? At that point, I was in. I was like, you know what? If Rich Homie Swan isn't there, that's the guy I want to be the champion because he at least knows who he is. was just hilarious. The fact that he went Avengers, not the Iron Man type, but the Ray Fiennes one, that crappy movie that came out a long time ago, but with the umbrella,
bowler hats and stuff.
Yes, he got to come out with the bowler hat for the pay-per-view though. If he doesn't do that, he can't be real. He can't be real.
So we get our main event, special challenge match from Raw, where we have Neville versus Rich Homie Swan. Neville gets the win after hitting a superplex. Barry Windham would be proud. Neville attacks Swan after the match and finishes Swan off with 2 super kicks and leaves him laying. And that was your 205 Live.
At WrestleMania, Jack Gallagher should come out in one of those like horse-drawn cabs. Like wearing a suit. He's a gentleman.
He has to, and the bowler hat and the umbrella clinches it.
And then he has to have a female valet, just so he can like take his coat off and then lay it down for her, because he's a gentleman.
Vince, pay us. We got ideas. We've already given you
there's
shirts.
so many ideas that we can use for this dude.
So many.
You know what's also a good idea, fellas? Supporting the podcast here at CSPN.us. Go to our website, CSPN.us. Click on the banner that says "Keep the podcast free" and support Amazon. Support Skull Candy. If you support Amazon, anything that you buy will be charged to your account normally, and some of it will be come back to us. If you use Skull Candy and get some more headphones to listen to our great podcast, you'll get 20% off your ship. So there's lots of great sponsors to choose from. Choose one. Help support all the podcasts here on the CSPN. Do it today. So we got a big super show on NXT this week from Osaka, Japan. Now, when I get to the main event, I'll have to explain some things because they kind of did some TV out of order, which NXT usually doesn't do, but I understand why they did it. So we get our first match, Orny Lorcan versus Cien Almas. In an upset, Orny Lorcan hits an inverted exploder suplex off the top rope, and he gets the win. I wasn't expecting this because I thought Cien Almas was starting to finally find his groove a little bit. He turned heel and was starting to have some pretty good matches. He'd gotten a couple of wins. So I thought they were going to keep the streak going on, but that wasn't the case.
Did you see he came out in the mask?
I sure did. He did all the Naito spots too.
Well, wasn't the Osaka match? Wasn't that like about a month ago though? So
yep.
that might have been why they had Almas lose, just because he hadn't really hit that streak just yet. So now he's in a different spot to where that if that match happens now, it's a totally different match. He actually wins that match. So
true. Liv Morgan and Aaliyah versus Billie Kay and Peyton Royce. Billie Kay and Peyton Royce get the win when Peyton runs Liv into the knee of Billie Kay. Liv Morgan.
You mean Liv Morgan?
She's trying.
The great value Carmella.
Yes, she's trying.
She's trying. I just can't. I can't do. I can't deal with her and Aaliyah. It's just nothing that I just go, all right, I can get behind this.
Hey, Liv Morgan loves pizza, so she's great in my book.
Okay. I mean, if you don't love pizza, you're a narc. So that sort of goes without saying.
There's something wrong with you, yeah.
Tozawa and Tajiri versus Gargano and Ciampa for the NXT Tag Team titles. Gargano and Ciampa hit the running knee super kick combo on Tozawa, and they get the victory and retain the titles. Very good match.
It was. I enjoyed that one.
Yeah, Tozawa and Tajiri got a lot of offense in. DIY had to basically fight from underneath, but they do get the victory, and of course, continue their hot streak. Basically, one of the acts of the year. I mean, they've had a great year along with the revival in NXT. Probably, the feud of the year in NXT for sure.
Yeah, both of those matches at the pay-per-views have been fantastic. Especially with I'm trying to remember which one because I was just watching one of them earlier. Which pay-per-view did the Revival pull off the Heart Foundation move? Was that Brooklyn?
That was, I think you're thinking about Dallas.
Dallas?
They wrestled at Dallas and Toronto.
Okay. Why am I thinking of Brooklyn? I think because like I said, I've been watching these in a row, so some of them are sort of running together right now.
Because you're thinking about cheesecake, that's why.
Probably.
Asuka versus Nia Jax in the NXT Women's Title match. Asuka gives Nia a German suplex. She follows that up with the super kick, and she gets the win to retain the NXT Women's Title.
That suplex was crazy. Because I think that's the first time I've seen any other woman pick up Nia Jax like that.
Oh yeah!
I saw that at that point. At that point, I think I was watching it while I was working, and I just jumped up when I saw it because I couldn't. No one had done it. No one else had really gotten Nia off her feet because even Bayley just kept, Bayley got her with the guillotine, but other than that, no one has suplexed her or anything. So
again, Asuka, very entertaining. She's got that heel swag going a little bit, and she kind of wrestles like a heel a little bit. But I mean, she's really good. She's an ass kicker, so can't wait till she makes it to the main roster. Hopefully that happens some point here in 2017. It'd be great for like SummerSlam.
I think she was originally just signed for NXT though, but like that could change at any moment.
Say it again.
Well,
I think she was originally just signed for NXT.
Probably
because I think they've gotten enough out of that deal that they need to go ahead and expand that contract.
Well, I think they were doing the same thing with Samoa Joe, but I think he's coming up to the main roster where they were like, well, we're gonna put these guys just in NXT, and then after a while they're just like, maybe we need to go ahead and put them up because I got Samoa Joe coming up at Royal Rumble as a surprise off the top of my head, but yeah, but here's the thing though, when you put from NXT on the main roster, where do you stick them at? Because I think if it's Samoa Joe, he goes to SmackDown. If it's Asuka, you put her on Raw.
Right. Would you have some type of bidding war thing, storyline built in?
Ooh, that would be
good.
Big deal.
Where you make it a big deal where they go, but you manipulate it to where they go where you need them.
True.
We can do that here. Sometimes we forget, but we can do that here. Main event, Nakamura versus Samoa Joe for the NXT title. Samoa Joe is your champion in this particular match. This is a match following their Toronto match. Nakamura follows the knee straight off the top rope with the Kinshasa and regains, the NXT title.
Go ahead.
Do you think this was better than the cage match, or it was lesser than the match they had where Samoa Joe won the title back at Toronto? I think that was their best match, actually.
I mean, I think I like the what was that? Where was it? The Brooklyn one where Nakamura won. That actually was my favorite match where he quote unquote broke Joe's. broke his. Was it his orbital bone? Because they tried to play.
Well, no,
it
it was his jaw. It was his jaw. Excuse me. That's Austin Aries who Nakamura broke his orbital
bone.
Excuse me.
But no, I think the Brooklyn one was my favorite match. My second favorite. The cage match was okay. It just was sort of. It just after watching all of their other matches, it was just kind of like, let's just get through this one. You know, it wasn't anything overly spectacular. But this one was my second favorite that they've had together. So whenever Nakamura comes up to the main roster, we can get him and Zayn too. Or maybe him and AJ, because I saw somebody say him and AJ had a match this past year that I didn't see.
Oh, because
so
we've
go back and
never
watch
seen that. Because we've never seen Samoa Joe versus AJ ever.
No, never happened. Nope, didn't happen. Didn't happen. It was in the wilderness, as they said when Sting came up. It was the wilderness.
It was in the wilderness of Tennessee.
I'll try to find you the link from their match earlier this year. Actually, that was from Wrestle Kingdom on January 4th. Like the very first big match of the year was AJ Styles and Nakamura. So I'll see if I can find that for you.
I have that one like on my computer. Like I actually took the time to download it. That's how good it was.
Ooh, yeah. I saw that. I saw that somewhere, and I said, "Wait, this happened?" And so I got to watch that match. And that's going to Wrestle Kingdom is on my bucket list. I have to do that one year.
And by the way, before we get into Lucha Underground, I will throw this in that you guys can vote for this year's El Dandies right now through the official Twitter app. Just search the hashtag El Dandies, scroll down the tweets until you see the polls, and then cast your votes for this year's El Dandy Awards. We will be announcing the winners next week on our first show of 2017. So make sure you guys get your votes in. You do have until, I think, Saturday or Sunday. I think the voting ends on New Year's Day. So get your votes in before New Year's Day to be a part of the voting for this year's El Dandies.
Awesome. So, was there anything else you had?
It's your favorite time of the night, sir.
Oh, I haven't watched Lucha Underground in like I don't know how long.
Oh,
okay. Well, the show begins with Vampiro taking Prince Puma over to the dark side. Then we have our first match, Jeremiah Crane versus Mil Americas with Katrina. Prince Puma attacks Mil with a kendo stick from behind, and when the ref had his back turned as well. Crane gets the roll up. Take a drink.
already here.
And after the match, Prince Puma attacks Mil Mercis again with the kendo stick until Mil retreats. So I guess we're getting the same treatment that Prince Puma is getting the same treatment that Pentagon Jr. got when Pentagon Jr. lost to Mil Mercis. He got his back broken, and then, the Vampiro with the white face took him over to the dark side. So I guess this is the incubation of Prince Puma's trip to the dark side. So we'll see where this goes.
Yeah, but didn't they have wasn't Pentagon gone for like a good 3 weeks to a month? And then
he was gone for like a whole season. Actually, that's how the season ended. So we had to wait for like a whole new season to start.
Yeah, it
took 3 weeks.
Yeah,
for him to be able to walk again.
Yeah, because I was hoping, because I was like, because as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh, they're gonna do the same thing with Puma that they did with Pentagon, and I was like, I really wasn't expecting him to interfere in that match. I was like, well, he's gonna lay low until later in the season. What was it? Ultima Lucha? We still got that on the tap? Yeah, I thought they were gonna wait until then and then unleash him, but it was I was still good with it, but I was hoping for the full Pentagon treatment like they did, but hey, I'm good with that.
Sam, I need you to fill in the blank here. We have Sexy Star. What is this? Come on.
That's Dee. That's not me.
That's why I said you got to fill in.
Oh, what is a Sexy Star?
She's in the back, and she runs in to Paul London, who gives her a gift that he found. He said he found it at catering. It had her name on it. And inside the box was a black spider. So, she's freaked out. Famous B approaches Tejano about helping his image so the people will cheer for him more than they cheer for Cage. Jack Evans and PJ Black versus Angelico and Son of Havoc. Jack Evans hits the Phoenix Splash on Havoc, and they get the win. This was Angelico's first official match back since he got injured last year. And unfortunately, in this match, it looks like he dislocated his elbow and he got injured again. Did you catch that, Quantum Central R?
I did catch that. Grand opening, grand close. It's like, bro, you just got back.
Yeah, the referee threw up the dreaded X, and they got a shot of him rolling out of the ring of his elbow. Looked like a tennis ball was hanging out of his, he wears that like long sleeve type BMX type garb. So yeah, you can see his elbow clearly sticking out of that, protruding. So yeah, Angelico, just bad luck though. I mean, and he didn't even do anything that reckless this time. So
we'll get him back for the next season. He'll be out again.
So Sexy Star barges into Cueto's office and demands a match with Mariposa. Cueto grants her the match. Then we have our main event, The Machine, Brian Cage versus Tejano. Match 4 of their best of 5 series. Cage leads the series 2-1. Tejano runs Cage into the exposed turnbuckle. That causes Cage to bleed. He then gives him a super kick, then he gives him a power bomb, and Tejano wins the match. He evens up the series of matches, 2 wins apiece. Cueto then comes out and says they're not going to wait until next week. They're going to have match 5 right now, and it's an anything goes match. Cage wins the deciding fall with a Mikinechi driver to earn the ultimate opportunity from Dario Cueto. Cueto says he doesn't want to award him the opportunity in front of the fans to come into his office and get his prize. Inside, at first, Cage refuses. It's some type of like relic. Looks like a power glove. He's like, nah, you can keep it. But Cueto's like, well, before you go, just try it on. So, of course, Cage tries it on, and we see some electricity and some power, I guess, coming into Cage. Cage grabs Cueto by the throat with this particular power glove. He lifts him off the ground and says, you know what? I changed my mind. I think I'll keep it. He sits Cueto back down, and he leaves the office, and Cueto has that demonic-looking smile on his face, and that's this week's episode of Lucha Underground.
Oh, that last match was just beautiful, beautiful violence. They just said, you know what, we're just gonna. It's a where I think Cage powerbombed Tejano. Oh, it was fun. It was fun.
And you hear that sickening thud.
Oh yeah! As soon as he hit it there, and sometimes Matt Striker talks too much for my taste. But when he's just like, and he painted a brighter picture. I was like, that's supposed to hold 200 pounds, and Tejano is over that. It's like, well, oh, we got it, Matt Striker. We got it. It's like 10 people sitting in that row. We got it. We understood.
What do you feel about Lucha Underground this year? I feel like they kind of fell off. Like people aren't talking about them. They're not. They're not in the forefront like they were last year. Kind of what's your thought about it?
I mean, it's just kind of like they're getting a lot of folks. It's a lot less homegrown folks that they're spotlighting this year than they have previous. Usually it's been about Mil Mertes and Prince Puma and, Aztec Jr. And it's just like, I'm sorry, Dragon Azteca. And it's just like, now all of a sudden you got Jeremiah Crane there, and it's just like they keep every and the Darewolf PJ Black, and it's fun for here and there, but it's like you wanted a different match for Mil Muertes other than Jeremiah Crane, not because of who he was, just sort of like you liked seeing the first 2 seasons. It was Prince Puma and Mil Muertes and Grave Consequences. The matches, of the more homegrown talent. It was fine. But, this year, I think next year they'll sort of go back to more of the homegrown talent because they had to give space to who they signed because they put those contracts out there. Like Rey Mysterio. So you saw, Rey Mysterio in a lot more matches. And it's like, okay, that's fine. I've been watching Rey Mysterio for over 20 years. So it's fine. But, I'd like to see some of the younger guys. But I think they just had to figure themselves out after the past couple of years. And since people started leaving, but I think they'll figure it out once again. It's just taking a bit of time.
Gotcha. So that's basically the week that was in televised wrestling this week. New Japan is coming back. They're having their biggest show of the year, January 4th. Main event, Kenny Omega versus Okada for the IWGP Heavyweight title. Should be a lot of fun. I'm probably going to stay up till like 1 or 2 in the morning watching that on Wednesday night after I get through watching NXT and Lucha Underground to get prepared for the Thursday show next week. So can't wait, can't wait.
If somebody got the hook up on that one so I can watch that at 2 a.m.
Oh no, brother, nah, brother, I can't do it at 2 a.m. I got work. That's my first day of work actually out for this long break, so I have to do it that evening. But yeah, don't worry about it. I got you.
All right. Good.
So, yeah, that's
there
going to be
else?
the big thing coming up is just Wrestle Kingdom, and we'll see if Kenny Omega is going to be able to become the champion. That would be pretty awesome if he did. And the Young Bucks got named by Sports Illustrated as the Tag Team of the Year.
Oh, wow.
The news there. And
wait,
SmackDown
really?
beat Raw. Yeah.
Wait, really? They put the Young Bucks over New Day. All right, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. We're not gonna call it system, but
I mean, the Young Bucks did win 3 like legit tag team titles this year, though. They are like the legitimate holders of 3 different tag team belts right now. So,
I mean, yeah. I'm like I said, we're not gonna call it system, but it is what it is.
SmackDown beat Raw by about 300,000 viewers, as they had a 5.8 this week, and Raw had a 5.5.
Well, it should. It's been the better. I'm surprised they hadn't beaten it sooner. It's been the better show since the split.
Maybe that was 3.8 and 3.5, but somewhere around there. One of those two numbers. SmackDown had more viewers. DD won, basically, is what we can say.
Because SmackDown matters.
Hash to the
tag.
That's right. So, good for SmackDown. I mean, I knew this was going to be an awesome SmackDown. Shout out to Jade to the Max, who saw it live and in color with her niece and nephew. So they got a kick-ass show. A lot of wrestling. They got SmackDown. They got 205 Live. And then they got an extra main event dark match after that. So
that dark match sounded fire.
Yeah, they got a lot of bang for their buck, as the Young Bucks would say.
So
if you guys hold on, one more thing. If you guys want to check out some cool retro Raws, retro Rawcast, retro Nitrocast, check out the December 28th, 1998 shows from both series, from both Raw and Nitro. Both are iconic in the series of Raw and Nitro for the eras. The Nitro was the one where Ric Flair basically stripped down to his underwear in the ring and challenged Eric Bischoff and handcuffed himself to the ring ropes and said he wasn't going to leave. until Bischoff came out there and accepted the match. And then the Raw was where Shawn Michaels is getting fired by Vince McMahon from being the commissioner, and Shawn Michaels gives him the most authentic looking sweet chin music I've ever seen him give anybody in my life. So those are definitely worth checking out. Some classic, good, old school Monday Night Wars, retro, nitro, and broadcast.
Alrighty, so I got this PWI magazine, the first one I've had since I was like 13 or 14. Yeah, it hasn't changed much at all. Still pretty much the same thing. Have you guys checked out one of these in a while?
No, I haven't. I think the last time I checked one out was the when they did the best women wrestlers, and that was months ago. And they had, I think Nikki Bella was the #1.
Okay, well I got a new one where Charlotte is #1 and Sasha is #2. Asuka is #3. Becky #4. Bailey #5. Let me see what else I got here.
Where's Alexa Bliss? Hold up, she's a champion.
Where's
well, not at the time when this came out.
No, okay.
Hold on, let me look for her. It's gonna be a minute.
Wow. Wait, how many pages are you turning to say it's gonna be a minute?
Well, there's like 50 women on here.
She's not the best 50.
Oh, okay, she's 29.
I got some questions. I got some
20
questions.
spots too low.
Calm down, take it easy. Natalia's #7, 6 is Jade, #8 is Gail Kim, #9 is 60 Star. How did she even get on this list? Sienna's #10, Eva is 11.
Where's Naomi?
Hold on.
Wait, you turned in a couple more pages. Naomi can't be lower.
Well, I had to go to the. Well, there's a lot of women on one page. There's like 3 women on one page, so there's a lot of pages on here. Naomi is 25.
I mean, if they're counting her as usage, then yeah, but yeah.
Let me see. We don't get a.
So tell me who's ahead of, like, who's directly in front of Naomi, like 2 or 3 spots in front of her.
Okay, hold on. Santana Garrett, Nia Jackson, cheerleader Melissa, aka Mariposa.
I don't know. I don't have Nia over Naomi, but no.
Not yeah.
No.
Okay, we go from the start, from the bottom. #50 is your girl Eva Marie. I'm trying to do the ones that
What's so funny about that? I don't see nothing funny about that. I feel like
I don't know half of these women.
She's being
Jessica
underrated.
James is #47. She's a local girl.
Yeah,
she's really, really good.
Just pick out like some highlights, some people. You don't have to go through the whole 50.
Well, that's what I'm doing. Jeez. I've already skipped like 4 people, dude. Yeah, Jessica James is one that I know personally. She's really good. You should check her out. Vita Scott is 46. Casey Spinelli, who are you? You are now on my radar. Ooh. You have to check her out.
I'm gonna Google that list right after you done.
Google Casey Spinelli. He will not be disappointed. Oh, she was one of Lance Storm's girls. 44 is Carmella. 43 is Thunder Rosa, aka that Cobra Moon chick. Ugh.
Okay.
Let's see who else. Jessica Hill is 39. Tessa Blanchard is 38. Amber Moon is 37. Let's see here. Emma is 33. Marty Bell is 32. 31 is Amber Gallows. Let's see who else we all know.
Where's Dana?
She's 26. She's one below Naomi.
Did the Creepcast Rookie of the Year make the top 50?
Madison Rayne is 27. Who's that?
What? The Creepcast Rookie of the Year?
Who is that?
Mandy Rose.
Oh no, she didn't. No, she didn't even make it. Paige is number 19 for some reason. I don't know why. She hasn't wrestled in like how long?
It's been a minute.
Let's see. Nicole Matthews is number 16.
All right.
Rosemary is 14 for some reason.
Is Tia Trinidad on the list?
No, she's not on the list.
No, she's not.
AKA Rosita. Because she hasn't been on the radar since TNA. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Natalia's number 7.
She's on Austin Aries' radar every night.
Oh, God. Okay.
You know what? I'm the greatest man ever lived. You know what? He won that one. It's okay.
So
I stay near the Full Performance Center.
Before we sign off, you got to go to the guys and just entertain us with that list.
Oh no! But basically, what I was getting at was that this magazine has not changed. It's still the same magazine, except it's in color now. When I was reading it, it was in black and white.
Oh, I remember that. Where I do remember last time the time before that I saw it was nothing but in black and white. The only color parts was the cover and the back cover. Other than that, it wasn't even like
it wasn't even magazine paper. It was like that newspaper paper.
I remember that.
Yeah, and it rubbed off on your fingers. But yeah, this magazine hasn't changed at all. It kind of brought back some memories, but.
So run down who they got listed as number 1. Let's get some laughs off of the.
Number 1 is Charlotte. Number 2 is Sasha.
No, the males, the guys.
Oh, it's not on here. This is the females.
This is the females.
Yeah, they started splitting them up. I think last year they said, we're just gonna do a magazine for just the women, just because there's so many good women wrestlers. So they did one for the men and they did one for the women. Because I think last year Sasha was like I want to say they had her like at 10 or something like that, or something low. And I just because they didn't see all of the stuff she was doing in NXT. Charlotte, I don't think Charlotte was in the top 10 last year. So
she's the best heel in WWE, man.
Now she is. At the time, they didn't know what they weren't. I don't think they were watching a whole lot of NXT on. But now she's the best heel. Now Alexa got to be Alexa isn't the second best heel overall, but she's the second best woman heel they got on the roster. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so is there anything else before we do shout-outs?
Nah, I'm good.
Okay. We'll start with our guest, Mr. Quintessential. Why don't you shout us out? Give us some shout-outs.
Yeah, I got some shout-outs. I got some shout-outs to the New Slate podcast. I'm sorry for what I said last week. It wasn't my fault. I was drinking at the time. My cousin Chris that makes me late to the WrassleCast and SmackDown Matters. And shout out to Don and Sam for calling me, let me be on the show, because this was fun. And also, I can't forget the SmackDown Matters correspondent. Miss you, DD. So far, I think only one time that I've been on here, you've been on here. And also, shout out to Maurice, because I told him I would be the Owen Hart of the L Dandies. I'm gonna start carrying 2 trophies around if I win guest of the year. So.
Wow. Was that it?
Yep, that's it. I'm good.
Don, go ahead.
Oh, I like that. Thank our guest, Mr. Quintessential R, coming in on the late booking. He always, it's always supposed to have your gear ready whenever you come to the building. You never know when, we might need you. Big shout out to Sam for hosting the call like he does every week. Big shout out to DD wherever she is out in the world. Hopefully she's safe and we'll have a good New Year's Eve. To our man, the Jerobi of the WrassleCast, a.k.a. Greg Magnum Prime. Hope he's out there doing good wherever he's at. Thanks to everybody who runs the CSPN Arena. Even though it is closed this week and we're coming to you live from the Bingo Hall, I'd like to give a shout out to Classic and Mel, CJ, who made an appearance strictly for me because I asked for that for Christmas, and thank you to Mel for making it happen. And oh yeah, the guys at Crown and Collars, they helped some too. Bad Advice, all the shows here on CSPN, Gridiron Gals, who always seem to only have a show after the Redskins lose, and I have to listen to them clown my team. New Slave for coming on and being our sister show and bringing a whole bunch of comedy to wrestling commentary. I appreciate them so much and love when they have their show. I always look forward to it. And if there's anybody else on the network I forgot, Comic Book Chronicles, you guys do a great job over there, keeping everybody abreast of what's going on in the absolute nerd culture. So just everybody that takes the time out to be consistent and do their shows here. Know the score as well. All my guys over there that help out every week. Just want to thank everybody, man, on ESPN for doing this for this year and taking the time and the commitment, and the producers for editing and getting everybody round up and keeping us on schedule. So that's it. And all our people in the hashtag SmackDown Matters, WrassCast, pay-per-views, the SmackDown ones with the end in matters and the Raw ones, the end in cast, everybody who's downloaded, shared, interacted with us this year, man, we appreciate y'all so much. And we'll see y'all in 2017.
All right. Now my shout outs. Shout outs to first shout out to X_J Trilla on Twitter. Shout out to BK Spidey on Twitter. I'm sounding like Bubba right now. The Twitter machine. Shout out to our guests, of course. Shout out to Littlefoot. Shout out to Don. Shout out to Shout out to DJ Wally Sparks out there doing his thing. Shout out to Keisha Holt. Shout out to Mo, of course. And shout out to the rest of the Glow. They're out there. Seattle Slim and the rest of them out there. Of course, Miss Baltimore. Oh, yeah. Don, you finally saw what I was talking about, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. I always know what you were talking about, but we had to highlight it the other night.
She always sneaks it in there.
I saw that too. I saw that.
And I'm always pointing out, like, y'all see this? Y'all see this? And it just flies under the radar. So yeah, shout out to our girl Aiz Ali out there doing her thing. Hopefully she gets to play some Final Fantasy this weekend, because I know that's what she wanted to do. Let's see. Who else can I shout out? I think that's about it. Shout out to Classic, of course. Mel out there doing her thing as well. Let's see here. Shout out to People's Critic. And shout out to Holly Go Nightly 1 on Twitter. She's pretty cool out there doing her thing as well. And that's about it. We will see you all next week. Oh yeah, shout out to Lady Nikki on Twitter. Still don't know when we'll have her on, but we will have her on soon at some point. So we will see you next year. And we are out.